All right, so I have 5 really, really powerful biohacks that are highly effective at manipulating physiology strategically for performance enhancement goals that I think you're really going to be interested in. One of them is a strategy for like rapidly optimizing digestion. Another is a strategy for erection quality. Okay, erection maintenance. You're really going to enjoy this one, so stick around. Another is a brain performance one, but it's a very high-powered stack with a nice balancer. Another is a testosterone replacement therapy or TRT strategy. And the last is a nap dosing of a particular smart drug. Strap in, my friends, because I got a banger for you. Quick announcements and discounts for product. The Cortex Stack version 2 is 30% off. The code for that is 30 now. You can do that at livecortex.com or link in the description of this video. You can use the code 15 now to get 15% off of the Torque Stack. And for the month of October, and only for the month of October, every single consultation that is on our website that you can book with me personally is discounted. So if there's something you've been looking to book with me on, October is the month to do. We'll be discounted on consultations for the month of October. Book now. In my tenure as an advanced level biohacker, there's a lot of stuff that I've learned, obviously. I spend so much time in the scientific literature, and I spend a lot of time still to these days, 16 years in, experimenting on myself. Like, I just want to see, like, are there better ways to optimize gut physiology, gut function, the microbiome? You know, are there, you know, particular strategies that you can employ on like a date night or something for erection quality? Are there strategies for brain performance and kind of nootropic-like benefits in a pinch if you need it that's highly predictable and works very effectively? I figured a lot of this out, and I'm going to share with you 5 of my kind of most recent biohacks that have been extremely effective for me that I think you get a lot of utility from. Let's get right into it. Number 1, and this is going to be a curveball. Not many people are going to see this coming. For repopulating a specific strain of bacteria in your gut, a species called bifidobacteria. This is a species, by the way, that breaks down histamine. A lot of you guys with long COVID are having histaminergic overreaction, and COVID itself will reduce in large quantity the population of the bifidobacteria species in your gut. Please go research this. That leads to all kinds of problems. People that don't digest their food particularly well and have reflux and or bloating and all the rest of the kind of symptoms that come along with just having a mal-imbalanced kind of gut microbiome, you will benefit from having higher quantities and a diverse set of bifidobacteria species. And the best way to do this isn't to take probiotics, isn't to necessarily like be eating yogurt, isn't to try to even get a single strain of this stuff, although those things are effective to an extent. One of the best ways to build bifidobacteria and completely upgrade the functionality of your gut, your histamine degradation, and your digestion is to drink baby's formula. Yes, I said it. Drink baby formula. There's a specific brand. It's Similac 360 Total Care. It's the one that is as close that you can get to mother's breast milk, both on the nutrient side as well as the human milk oligosaccharides. Now, these HMOs are effectively what are in your mother's breast milk, which allow you to make one of the initial building block, gut bacteria strains called Bifidobacteria infantis, right? You know, for infant, it's Bifidobacteria infantis that then goes on to build and diversify the rest of the baby's gut. That is initially the major building block. So if you want to rebuild your gut, and by the way, you know, these bifido species actually have a major influence on the rest of your gut microbiome, other species as well. What you want to do is 5 days a week, an 8-ounce glass of Similac 360 Total Care. Yes, it sounds fucking fringe, and yes, I'm telling you to drink baby formula, but it's one of the biohacks that I found to be extremely effective for aiding digestion, fixing gut issues. I mean, you're going to be making more serotonin and GABA. You might even balance out neurotransmitters as a result of doing this. Highly, highly effective. One of my favorite things to do, baby formula. Good luck. All right, number 2. Now, this is for erection quality optimization, effectively maintenance. I mean, look, there are things that you can do, making sure your hormones are straight, testosterone specifically. If you're on TRT, managing that fine dance between testosterone, DHT, and estradiol and prolactin. You know, you could like run some tadalafil or whatever, like to generally optimize erectile function. But if you really want to take it to the next level, if you're aggressively dating, or maybe, you know, you had a bad relationship and, you know, it fucking ruined you for a little bit and now you want to go sow your wild oats, whatever the case is, or you have a persistent girlfriend or wife and you really love her and you really want to give her strong quality erections and want to have good sex, this is a strategy to execute that. It's a combination of things. Number 1, shockwave therapy, preferably with the Phoenix, but you can get other shockwave therapy devices. I just don't know the degree of efficacy that those devices have. I'm not trying to promote the Phoenix. I actually hate the way that they've marketed, but it is a shockwave device for the male junk that promotes neovascularization, ends up facilitating better sensation and better erection quality via literally building new blood vessels, removing buildup, breaking up and removing fibrosis. Like for those of you with really, really shitty conditions and or a long period of time where you weren't having nocturnal erections or morning erections and erections just aren't good, you might have some fibrosis. You might need to actually go break that up. 2 sessions a week, of either the Phoenix or an equivalent shockwave therapy device. While you run those sessions, in the presence of those sessions, 8 milligrams, not 5 milligrams, not 2.5, 8 milligrams tadalafil. Dose the tadalafil that day. It may come with side effects for certain people. If you're not used to it, deal with it, because this is a very majorly important part of this strategy. You want as much blood flow as possible while you're executing the shockwave therapy. You don't have to be dosing tadalafil other days. You can if you want for extra erection quality or whatever, but you don't have to, assuming everything else is okay. But it's important to get the tadalafil in the day that you are using the shockwave device. Lastly, in this time period of trying to optimize erection function for whatever goals you have, you want to run a vacuum pump, effectively a penis pump, 2 times a day for 10 minutes at a time. You want to do this 5 times a week. For the record, pumps are seen as like this weird like sexual kink or something. It really isn't. But in reality, this is the stuff that's given to men that have prostate surgery where they have significant erectile dysfunction thereafter to rejuvenate penile function. You are oxygenating the tissues and giving the tissues significant amounts of blood for a determined amount of time. This is what ultimately repairs, penile function if there is atrophy. And if there really isn't any significant capacity, is going to pretty appreciably bump up erection quality. Medium gauge, okay, not high pressure, medium gauge vacuum pump, 2 times a day, 10 minutes apiece, 5 days a week with a 2-day break. Number 3, biohack that has been really epic for me and pretty powerful for brain performance is the following. This is a nootropic combination. It is number 1, the Cortex stack, right? If you've not heard of this stack or haven't tried it, you are absolutely missing out on stellar brain performance. Plus a 7 milligram nicotine patch, plus 300 micrograms of a peptide called C-Lank. This is what this is doing. High potency mental energy, but also extreme flow and focus. That is what Cortex delivers, first of all, in and of itself and by itself. But you take it to the next level, you've got Cortex, Alcar, methylliberine, theanine, teacrine, citicoline, plus a heavy cholinergic agonist in a transdermal nicotine patch, which is highly effective and for some people is comparable to Adderall, plus 300 micrograms of C-Lank, which is a GABA A receptor modulator. It actually positively allosterically modifies the benzocytes at the GABA A receptor, providing a smooth calm in addition to this like stimulant energy that you're getting from the other 2 compounds. You take this combination, get ready for 8 hours of solid work and to feel fucking amazing. All right, that's like one of my favorite stacks these days. Number 4, this is a biohack or a strategy for people that are on testosterone replacement therapy, TRT. Managing estradiol can be very tricky, and, dosing some of these hardcore aromatase inhibitors like anastrozole or exemestane, sometimes you want a drug holiday from these chemicals. I will, for 7 days straight, reduce my testosterone dose. So the entire TRT dose, so call it 180 milligrams, will reduce 30 milligrams over a 7-day period. So immediately from 180, I will go to 150. I'll take a break from anastrozole and not dose that and not manage the estradiol with anything else. I'll just as a byproduct end up making less estradiol and thus lowering it. And I'll do that for 7 days. There's many benefits to this, not just E2. So E2 is going to lower. You're not going to make as much estradiol, and that may balance things out for you to get you back in your range. But also, you're going to allow sex hormone binding globulin to go up a little bit. And people think this is a bad thing, and people always say you want lower because that means you have more free testosterone in the serum, and this is true. However, sex hormone binding globulin is also a storage chemical. It allows androgens to be transported to tissues where they can activate, proper androgenic function in those tissues. You want SHBG to be in, low to mid range. You don't want it to be tanked, and you don't want it to be super high. By lowering your dose of testosterone briefly, you're going to go back to your normal dose, but for a 7-day period, lowering it, you're going to balance estradiol, usually relinquish or remove the necessity for dosing an AI during that period, and your SHBG HBG is going to go up a little bit and allow more effective transport of androgens to your tissues. It's like whenever I go back up to my regular dose, I certainly fucking feel it and I like it. Number 5, and this is going to be an epic one that I think a lot of you are looking forward to. It is, I think I made a mistake before, it is pre-nap aniracetam. All right, this is taking a particular smart drug right as you're going to sleep, as you feel yourself falling asleep from a midday nap, like a power nap. I dose an even 500 milligrams of aniracetam as I am falling asleep in the middle of the day when I take a nap, and then I wake up, 30, 40 minutes later, whenever my alarm is set for, with exceptional, it feels like I had slept an entire 12 hours. It feels like I took modafinil, honestly, and for the next like 3 to 4 hours, I am just functioning, cognitively at a completely different level. This is a strategy with caffeine. As you're falling asleep, you drink a little bit of coffee right when you're falling asleep, so like it doesn't interrupt your sleep. You take your nap, you wake up, and you have this buzz that is certainly different than if you were to just in your waking state consume caffeine or a smart drug. Your dose is going to vary, but I'd start with between 400 and 500 milligrams of aniracetam right as you're falling asleep for a nap. Wake up, and you're going to have pretty stellar brain performance for the next 4 hours after you wake up. It actually feels really, really good. Snapshot these biohacks. Go back in the video, rewind, write them down, execute them. These are my top 5 over the course of the last 6 months, like things that I've been doing that really, really make my brain function better, give me some experimentation to do, have like targeted outcomes, like targeted objectives considered in the formulation of these strategies. They all actually work. Hope that's been useful. Thanks so much for being with me. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, every single one of our consultations are discounted for the month of October. We really never do this. I figured I'd give people a chance that like I've been looking at some of the prices and like, hey, want a price drop or just want a discount, because I can't actually apply coupon codes to these, to book a call with me, to book an email consultation, to book a TRT protocol optimization, to get your ED resolved, to get some nootropic regimens settled, to get brain performance back, a host of things that are related to my specialties, all for cheaper right now. livecortex.com. You can book me in under a minute. Links in the description of this video. Again, code 30 now will save you 30% on Cortex version 2. And code 15 now, 15 now will save you 15% off of the mighty, highly stimulating, highly motivating, highly energizing Torque Nootropic Stack. In the description, all the stuff we got. More content to come soon. Hope you guys enjoyed the live stream we did on Sunday. Please go watch it if you haven't. It is very long and very complex. We go very thorough in a lot of topics. And I will talk to you on the next one.